There are three approaches to multi-touch in Windows 7 and WPF. There's raw touch, which of course allows you access to the raw touch input from the user. There's manipulation, which provides a mechanism for applying transformation, scale, and rotation based on multi-touch gestures to objects. And then there's gestures. And gestures is a very simple way to access the built-in gestures of Windows 7. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to add gesture support to an existing WPF application. Here's an existing application that I created to show off manipulation. You can see that we can, using multi-touch, drag and move and rotate shapes on the screen. But for this demonstration, we're interested in this solution in the corner. We want to add a couple of simple gestures to it in order to enable some functionality. Now the tile in the corner is implemented as its own WPF user control called Puzzle Silhouette. So I'm going to switch to the XAML and find that main canvas. I'll add an event handler for Stylus System Gesture. Now, I should point out here that we're actually referencing the existing Stylus event. And when I say existing, I mean that it was around before .NET 4. But they are implemented in such a way that they capture touch events as well. So we can use them for touch and multi-touch. So let's navigate to the event handler for Stylus System Gesture. And the first thing I'm going to do once I'm there is check the event args. And the event args give me a property called System Gesture, and that lets me know what type it is. So here I'm looking to see if the system gesture is of a particular type. Now, I want to point out the list here. So these are all the built-in gestures that you can access. Drag, flick, hold, tap, right tap. In this case, we want right tap. So I'll go ahead and double-click to insert that. Now, I've already got some functionality in the application that toggles the solution. So I'll just invoke that. Let's test it out, and you can see that over in the corner I can right tap that tile to toggle the solution on and off. So you can see what kind of functionality I can get with just a few lines of code. So let's go back to the code and we'll add support for a second gesture. This time I'm going to look for the gesture of drag. Now the problem that I have is that drag doesn't tell me which direction the drag occurs, whether it's left, right, up, and down. And basically, I need to know whether it's a left drag or a right drag to be able to implement the functionality I want. So the solution is to go add another event handler. So I'll switch back to the XAML, and I'll add my event handler right next to the other one. This time, I'm going to check for stylus down. So stylus down occurs the moment that the drag operation begins. So let's navigate back to the code, and before I actually implement the event handler, I want to create a member variable. We'll call this stylus x, and it's just a double that's going to keep track of where that initial touch point was. So all we have to do is set stylus x to the result of get position, and we're only interested in the x coordinate there. I'm going to go ahead and copy that because we'll use it again, because now we can go into the else statement that we created before, and then we'll create a second variable called delta x, and we simply take the new position during the drag and we subtract the original position, and that'll give us a number, whether positive or negative, from which we can derive whether it was a drag to the left or drag to the right. Now, since I've already got some functionality that handles the user interface, all I have to do is check to see if it's a drag to the left, meaning that number is negative, then we invoke a method called slide_left, and if it's a drag to the right, then we invoke a method called slide_right. So that's it for the code. Let's go ahead and see what it looks like. So you'll see that I can still use the right tap gesture to toggle the solution on and off, but now I can also drag to the left or right to slide the shapes and be able to select a puzzle for my game. So there you've seen simple gesture functionality implemented in an existing WPF application in Windows 7.